So, ladies and gentlemen, our next session focuses on FinTech offerings and research at Fujitsu, the current landscape and where innovation is heading. Our speaker, ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Indradeep Ghosh, is the CEO at Fujitsu Research of America. He leads the advanced research efforts across AI, computing, and financial technologies, with a strong focus on translating research into real-world solutions. He has been working in the industrial R&D for over 27 years in various areas of hardware and software analysis. Please put your hands together and welcome Dr. Indradeep Ghosh. Welcome, sir.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. And thank you to all the conference organizers for inviting me to this wonderful event over here in Mumbai. I'm going to today talk to you about Fujitsu's research and innovation and how we are applying all that to FinTech, especially in the AI domain. So first of all, before I go into the details of what we are doing, I want to give you a brief overview of Fujitsu, because Fujitsu doesn't have a big footprint inside India yet. So the Fujitsu Group is a global IT company. It was established in 1935, so we have been around for quite some time now. We have a revenue of about $30 billion, and we spend about $2.5 billion per year on R&D. And the Fujitsu Research Division, to which I belong, has a budget of about $1 billion per year and has about 1,500 employees worldwide. We call ourselves a digital transformation company, so system building and integration, but that's slowly evolving, and I'm going to talk to you about that too. And we happen to be the #1 IT services company in Japan, 125,000 employees. We are there in over 180 countries. And then going to the Fujitsu research part, so that itself is also a global organization. So they started off in Japan in 1960s, then came to the United States. So we have research labs in US and in Canada, and then to Europe. And actually, we'll be happy to know our latest research lab has been established in 1922 in Bangalore, and it has seen phenomenal growth. So it has now almost 300 researchers working there, and it's still growing. So I am actually in charge of all Fujitsu's research activities in North America. We call it Fujitsu Research of America. And we have three facilities. So the first one, of course, is the headquarters in Santa Clara, where I am. And then there is a small satellite lab with Carnegie Mellon University in Pittsburgh. So we collaborate a lot with universities to get our research ideas into business. And we also have a small satellite lab with University of Toronto in Toronto. And I took over the reins of this company about 2.5 years back. And I have been there since, and I'm assisted by my CFO, Katagiri-san. So what do we do over there? So, of course, these are the 5 pillars that we are actually working on right now in technology. So, of course, AI, which is a big part of our research. We work in computing, both in the classical as well as quantum computing. We have created Japan's first quantum computer in 2023, and we are scaling it up now. We also work in data and security, and we work in converging technologies, which is a marriage between technology, twin technology, and as well as social aspects. So Fujitsu's vision is to make the world more sustainable by building trust in society through innovation. And that is what our core technology is all about. So once we create this technology, we have this Fujitsu Uvance division, which has all these verticals like sustainable manufacturing, digital shifts, consumer experience, and so on, business applications, which tries to take the technology and applies it into those vertical areas in business. And then we have our technology and strategy vision. And the idea over here is to empower Fujitsu sales with cross-industry insights, enabling them to build meaningful client relationships and drive a mutually profitable growth with each other. And the goals are to create a collateral with a global framework that perpetually evolves with new technologies like AI as it is coming in. And we concentrate on these various areas of business like retail, energy and utilities, public sector, manufacturing, and the financial sector, of course. And so that's where I'm going to drill down a little bit. So what is the model? Our business, banking, financial services, and insurance vision. So you can see it's this four-tier system. So at the very bottom is the technology that we're talking about. So we are doing the research in these various core areas for creating new IP, new innovation, and the tools that enhance efficiency to help us gain a competitive edge. And once we have created the technology, the Fujitsu Uvance division actually uses those technologies. It focuses on using AI cloud, data analytics, and creates sustainable and human-centric solutions. And on the third layer, we have the regulations. So the regulations are very important in the financial sector. We have regulations in IT, we have regulations in banking, financial markets, and these are crucial for ensuring security and transparency and trust. And finally, at the very top layer is our partner ecosystem. So these are all our customers with whom we go hand in hand to create various innovations and help them access emerging technologies. And this helps our clients stay ahead, enhance their services, and also improves their efficiency. So let's talk a little bit about all the technologies in AI that we have created. And then I'm going to talk about what those technologies are currently being used, especially in the FinTech sector. Okay? So mainly, the technologies in AI, the core technologies, revolve around these two silos that we have created. So on the left, you have Takane. So Takane is our LLM for business, which can be fine-tuned. So as you know, most of the LLMs that have come out of the Western world have been mostly trained on the English language. However, we need LLMs which are basically also fine-tuned in other native languages, like Japanese for a Japanese company. So this is the #1 in Japanese benchmark. So we have fine-tuned the LLM that was previously mostly done using English language for Japanese applications, and it has achieved great results on Japanese benchmarks. It also is very good for customer and environmental adaptability, for enterprise data understanding, and for behavioral reliability. And I'm going to talk about a little more details about all those things. And on the right, we have Kozuchi. So Kozuchi is an AI platform which is equipped with many cutting-edge technologies that we have created to create AI agents. So we have 90+ releases, more than 100+ contracts with various companies. And the features over here are speed, evolution, and easy for development, and transforming workflows with AI agents. And just to let you know, the Kozuchi actually in Japanese means a gavel. So it's like a magic gavel which helps you do things that otherwise wouldn't have been possible. Okay. So how did the evolution of AI happen in Fujitsu? So of course, last year in June, we started with generative AI. And in generative AI, basically what we are doing is somebody is basically prompting it and getting answers for it. That evolved quickly into AI agents. So in the AI agents, actually, they are kind of autonomous. They are doing stuff on their own. They understand the environment, and they have a plan to execute tasks to achieve your goals. And then one AI agent was not enough, so immediately after that, we started working on multi-AI agents so that these are agents which collaborate with each other to actually create different types of value and tasks for you. So that's what we are working on in the agentic space. So in the enterprise generative AI framework, we have the main crux is that we are trying to create LLMs which are customized for the customer. Okay, so we don't want to create a one-size-fits-all solution because of various issues. So one is customer environmental adaptability. So we want the most optimal model for the customer so that he doesn't have to spend a lot of resources to run that model in their hardware. We want to also understand the data of the customer, so specific data that the customer has, which we can actually employ in the AI model. And for this, we use something called a knowledge graph extended RAG. And finally, we also want the LLM to be very reliable. So we want behavioral reliability, and so we call that generative AI trust, and we have created technology for LLM vulnerability scanner and LLM guardrails. And I'm going to talk a little bit about that also in the coming slides. So Takane 2.0 is actually a bunch of models, okay? So the AI market is very huge. As I said, one size doesn't fit all. It's fragmented into a wide variety of use cases in each industry. And so what we did was we created a variety of LLMs to suit different type of problems that our customer has. So at the very top, we have the very lightweight model, which we call Takane 2.0. It has only 7 billion parameters. Now, as you know, LLM models like the ChatGPT 5 or these big ones like Gemini Pro, they are known to have trillions, 5 to 10 trillion parameters. So 7 billion over there is basically a puny model. But even that actually can do various tasks very efficiently. And the idea over here is that if you can do a task very efficiently with a small LLM model, you don't need to spend huge amount of money on your hardware resources to run that model, to actually answer you questions that you do not need. So a banking sector customer, for example, would not need to know the answer of some history question, but a standard LLM will give them that answer. So that's the idea over here. So that's the smaller LLM model. Then we have an intermediate size LLM model, which is 32 billion parameters. And that is actually giving much better performance that LLMs have that used to have 100 billion parameters. And this is fine-tuned for one GPU installation. So it can run very efficiently in a single GPU environment. And finally, we have a 101 billion parameter model, which is our most powerful model. And that actually is fine-tuned for two GPU kind of installation. And so as you can see that matrix over there, we are actually playing in the right-hand corner where we want a highly efficient, customized model for our customers. And we are not really playing in the very large space of generalized models to do anything. Okay, and so now we come to the various technologies that we use to actually fine-tune our models for AI models for our customer needs. So one is knowledge reconstruction. So in the knowledge reconstruction, what we want to do is we want to just keep the parts of the model which are relevant to the customer's needs from knowledge point of view. So as I told you before, I mean, a standard big LLM can have knowledge about everything in the universe, like physics, chemistry, history, and so on. But a banking or financial customer may not need all that knowledge. The first step is to actually cut out all that extra stuff which is not needed for the current application and create a smaller model using knowledge reconstruction. After that, there is the step of model reconstruction. So as you know, transformers are currently the most prevalent models used for LLMs, but that is not the only model that is there. there are other models like Mamba or other new AI models which can also be used for LLMs, and they might be more suitable for use in certain applications. So we kind of work with our customer to figure out what LLM model actually best suits their needs and go to that particular model. And finally, there is this step about quantization. And so over there, what we are doing is we are using a much less precise parameters, and as a result, the model actually reduces in size quite a bit. So these are the technologies for actually creating smaller models which are fine-tuned for our customers' needs. And then we have also this technology, knowledge graph extended RAG. So there is a lot of corporate data which obviously general purpose LLMs cannot train on because they are private and they are secure and they are not available to the public. However, that data is kind of very unstructured. And also, a lot of it is never used, and it's very manual and inefficient. So we have this technology which creates a knowledge graph out of this type of unstructured data, which are mostly documents inside a customer's premise, and use that in a RAG environment, like retrieval augmented generation, to actually enhance their element. And this actually consists of 3 steps. So one is data structuring, then advanced analytics, which can identify similarities and contradictions between disparate knowledge, making it possible to perform tasks which were previously not possible. And it can also self-improve. So as we keep on using more and more of the system, actually the RAG, the knowledge graph RAG actually improves with new connections and new nodes. So in the financial sector, those are the technologies we created. So what are the challenges that we are going to solve? So most of these you have already heard about throughout this day over here, that in the financial sector we have risks, cybersecurity risks because of increasing attacks. We have a regulatory environment which poses a lot of kind of constraints on financial institutions to adhere to regulations. There is outdated infrastructure which needs to be modernized for AI tools to run. There are fraud rebels. Customer requires the most exciting and the latest experience. But for that, we need to have AI security, AI governance. We have pressures on cost and margins. There is a lot of problem with talent shortage for actually AI and siloed data. So all these legacy systems, they are kind of siloed with data in various silos. So AI systems cannot work with all of them together. And then the business processes that have been used before were inefficient, and we need to modernize them. So these are all these challenges, and our approach in the finance sector is to build a resilient and sustainable financial ecosystem through customer centricity and experience, operational efficiency and agility. So basically, we look at organizations which need to optimize their processes, increase the speed and flexibility with which they operate. We want to manage their risk and also need to see that they comply with regulations. We create innovations for future research readiness, like all these new applications that are coming through AI. And then, of course, we have banks which must also adhere to sustainable growth practices like ESG imperatives. So our customer-driven approach is kind of a hand-holding approach. So first of all, we discover and empathize. So with the customer, we kind of do a deep dive analysis as to what the problem is. We go through, make some workshops. We quantify challenges and opportunities. Then we kind of co-design the solution where the customer actually gives us the domain knowledge and we give the customer the technology to create a prototype which we can then use as a proof of concept. Then we build and integrate that and run it on the customer premise using some agile sprints with secure data migration, and also create a set of APIs for the ecosystem for future expansion. And finally, we run that system in the customer premise with 24/7 support and transparent SLAs. And finally, we have innovate and grow together for future applications, like emerging technologies and so on. And we continue to create this kind of roadmap. So this is kind of the Fujitsu's business model. We are a digital transformation company, so we are customer-centric. We solve our customers' problems. We work together with them to actually customize our solutions to their challenges. So one of the things that is very pertinent to financial technology that we have created is a graph AI technology. So as you know, a graph AI or a graph neural network is a graph created from various types of knowledge or various types of data that we have within the customer's premise. And sometimes we need this graph neural network generated from the customer data to align with the LLM that the customer is using to create certain new functionalities. For example, to explain what is happening, better explain what is happening in the LLM. Why did it take a decision? Or to see the causes that led to a certain decision within an LLM. And also, this is the core engine that is used in the knowledge graph extended RAG. So this is something that we have created. And one of the applications of this graph LLM graph AI technology is detecting fraud in FinTech. So fraud detection is a huge impact in FinTech, and the AI detection system must be explainable, so it must tell why it has chosen something as a fraud. However, the number of fraudulent transactions are very small, so we have unbalanced data. So when we are training an LLM, because the fraudulent transaction data is so small as compared to the normal data, it's difficult to train an LLM like that. So if we have a poorly trained model, because the data is insufficient, it can give us false positives. So it will tell you that a fraud has happened, where no fraud has actually happened. So over here, that is where the graph AI capabilities come in. So we can use it both during real-time validations and also during offline validations. We can use the graph as a post hoc explainability method for AI systems using its nodes and its connections. We use the graph capabilities to implement new and more accurate scoring systems for maybe credit card transactions, and that will actually enhance our fraud detection system and give us much better output. And finally, we can use pattern matching to design and implement better and more reliable rules than what we had originally only in the LLM. So this is one example of our technology being used in the financial sector. I come to a few case studies. So one is this company, Informa DNB in Spain. So their challenges was they needed to apply AI in their database in a reliable and transparent way to reduce ever more sophisticated financial fraud. We worked with this customer with our explainable AI technology to mitigate their risks and bias through transparent methodology and transforming decision-making for all their 4.5 million customers. And the outcome was it complies with the EU standards, it guarantees trust in every stage of the process, and it reduces bias arising from data quality analysis. So this is case study one. In the second case study, this is a company, Mo Bagel Taiwan. It's a financial services company providing B2B payment services for small and medium-sized enterprises. So their challenges were their reliance on static financial data for credit evaluation along with manual approval of the process. This led to significant barriers leading to delays in loan approvals, increased risk from credit, and also missed business opportunities. So what we did was we integrated our AutoML technology with their AI Builder technology. The AutoML technology actually automatically creates customized AI models with their fine-tuned to their target, and they can actually experiment with them very rapidly to see which one fits their needs very well. And using this technology, actually, they reduced their default rates for loan applications by about 70%. They improved deal closure rates and customer satisfaction by accelerating the approval process by 10 to 20%. And they also avoided their workforce expansion because they could reduce the manual checking of the credit application process. And then finally, we have also MTF Finance. So this is not really an AI solution, but we actually worked with this company in New Zealand, which is used by various loan providers for vehicles and others to actually implement the Azure Databricks Lakehouse Accelerator, delivering a multi-source integration and secure and government data platform. So once we create this kind of infrastructure, then their data reporting latency can be reduced, the MTF finance data team can be upskilled, and this actually leads to future proof for using this kind of infrastructure for future AI applications. Do I have a few more minutes? Okay. Okay, and then finally the fourth one, Trinidad and Tobago Trust. So this is again another AI infrastructure implementation. So they want to move away from the high maintenance and inflexible on-premise data centers and decided to go with a hybrid cloud approach and third-party cloud approach. And Fujitsu actually helped them to create such a cloud infrastructure using their tier 3 data center in Trinidad. So now they have high performance, high availability boost. It boosts productivity. Off-island disaster recovery is ensured using business continuity, and scalable platform supports future AI applications and services. So all this actually case studies show us that we not only need to create AI solutions itself, but we also need to upgrade infrastructure that is there in customers' premises in banking and financial sector to make them ready for the AI solutions. And finally, I come to this area of regulations and security. So the European AI Act, which was recently instituted, led to a lot of compliance burden for AI solutions for vendors. So we have worked with this partner called Acos AI in Europe to create a bunch of tools, a suite of tools that helps companies navigate the European AI Act. We have an AI compliance assistant. We have an AI ethics impact assessment tool. We have an AI risk management tool, AI ethics for fairness tool that actually looks at bias inside the tools, and also a LLM bias diagnosis and disinformation detecting tool. So these are some of the tools that people can use also in the banking and financial sector, because this is across all AI applications. And then finally, security. This is again something which is prevalent across all AI applications, including banking and finance. And the idea over here is that the LLMs are vulnerable. They are prone to prompt injection attacks to give you answers which they are not supposed to give. And to mitigate this, we have created an LLM vulnerability scanner and LLM guardrails technology. So the idea over here is that we have about 7,700 proprietary ones for scanning attacks, for scanning the LLM, which we can analyze the LLM for. We can do better checking by using our adaptive prompting technology, which actually tries to break the LLM from security point of view. And once we have kind of figured out what are the vulnerabilities, we create a scan report, And using that scanned report, we then extract guard rules from that scanned report to actually now kind of bound the LLM so that these vulnerabilities are not there anymore. So these are some of the technologies which we have created for security. So coming to the end of the talk, uh, evolving AI agents is going to change people's workplace and lifestyles. The network of people and AI agents will be integrated into every area of business, and FinTech is no exception, and it will transform business strategies and the processes that go along with it. And our mission is to create ecosystems in which people, business, and society can work together and connect together with multi-AI agents to respond to social and business challenges. And we continue to work with our customers to transition from a digital transformation company to an AI transformation company. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Ghosh, for that wonderful session. Your perspective on the current fintech research landscape and where innovation is heading was sharp and very valuable. Thank you so much. And to present the token of appreciation to Dr. Indradeep Ghosh, I take this opportunity and invite the head digital application engineering. Put your hands together for Mr. Dhananjay Singh. Welcome, sir. Come on, ladies and gentlemen, everybody together, make some noise and have a round of applause for Dr. Ghosh. Thank you so much.